It makes me feel really good. But even then, playing this level is... I don't think I could have asked for a more fun level to play.
I think my favorite GD trope was, like, during the era that Technical played, and, like, was #1. Someone in a call would just say, like, getting far, and then the entire call would go silent. I think that was the funniest era.
Ooh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I did it! Oh my god, I did it! Oh my god, I did it! I'm not even stressed right now. I'm so... Oh my god. I did it. Holy shit, I did it. Holy shit, I did it. Oh my god. Okay.
That is... I'm, like, speechless.
That's the wrong key. I pressed Devin. I'm gonna clip that.
Nice.
Oh my god.